Well, I suppose you're all very familiar, or somewhat familiar, or maybe not at all, with the way that Zen goes about speaking and sharing ideas. It could be at any time about anything. And because I like to link things up between the physical, the psychological, the spiritual, the mental, all of these different realms. And I wanted to do things today or this evening or whatever time you think it is. And I want to do things to link up a bunch of different ideas about cancer and flat Earth and the globe Earth even, or the realm we live on, or whatever it is. And I'm gonna wait for some people to show up because I think, I believe, I feel as though it'd be more entertaining if there are a few people here to spur me on with this concept, this idea. Uh, if you're new to this and you don't know who I am and you're still listening to this point, and this is sometime in the future because this is a live broadcast, as I always do, you probably wait for about 5 minutes before I say anything of supreme importance because usually I just wait for people to show up and then talk. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see if anybody shows up. It's an odd hour. I've already done a few shows today, and people might be tired of my rambunctiousness or hijinks or goofiness, but nonetheless, I'll still go on with the topic about making a correlation between the inner and outer realms, the mind, the body, and cancer, and flat Earth, or bubbleless, or bulbous, or chunky. We'll call Earth chunky at this point. It used to be a big ball, and then it got really flat. And then on that flat plane, there became a bunch of somethings. You had to expect that to happen, though, huh? So we'll talk about this. I'm going to do a quick meditation here, as no one's in the room. So I will sit here and meditate for about 2 minutes. And if someone shows up, or a few people, welcome. Well, hello. Who are you? We're in a silent meditation right now. Whoever entered the room. Okay, I think that's been a couple minutes. So what we'll do here is we'll explore the idea of cultures and communities. Would you guys like that? If we get to cultures and communities, what that has to do with your body and where we live as a whole. And when I say whole, I don't know if I mean like WHOLE or like a HOLE. Depends on how you want to break that word down. so so where we are in this realm, this flat Earth, I think that's if you don't know already, yes, it's all subject to the mind. It's all perception. Yeah, we get that. But we can all unanimously look around and look at something and say, that right there is a chair. Now we know that that's just syntax, semantics, and a bunch of ways to verbalize what something appears to be. We know that a chair can be used as a table because you could sit down in front of it and put your food on it. You know that it could be used as that chair could also be used as a ladder. So what we can find is a chair I could equally, depending on my perception of it, call it many different things. I could go on and on with all the things that I could call a chair because it has that use or that property. But we all can unanimously, get to the, if you know English, well, we could do it in another language if you'd like to. But if I said chair, you wouldn't know what I was saying in another language. But we know the definition, what we're looking at when there's like, here, it's comfortable. You put your arms up here on the armrest and you sit down. So that is the capacity for people to comprehend what an object is and its use. And we can agree on that to a certain point. So in the same way, when we look around us, when we look outside, and we could say, okay, is the water flat or is it curved? Is the land, yeah, there's ups and downs. And we know it becomes pretty apparent, pretty clear that where we live is as flat as possible, as flat as we could understand it to be. So I can say you live in your body and I live in my body, and somebody like, no, this is not a body. This is a, okay. Well, we're not playing that game today. We can get to some super uh, out there nonsensical shit about what the body is. But the point of this is where I'm trying to pull you or drag you or just enlighten you to this idea that the syntax, the semantics, the verbiage that we use, we still know what we know what we mean when we say a chair is a chair, and that needs to be clear, because if not, we couldn't even have a conversation or a dialogue for that matter. So when we look at this realm that we live on, and you think you can live anywhere, you can, it could be flat, it could be a circle, it could be a ball, it could be a bunch of different things. But if I say cancer, no one's going to argue about that, are they? They're going to be, if I say we live on a globe or we live on a flat earth, they're going to argue to their, to their cheeks hurt. But if I say cancer and their aunt or their uncle or their mother or their father or they have cancer, they're gonna know what that fucking means, doesn't it? They're like, isn't it so? Isn't it so? If I take a little, if I just, I'm gonna go ahead and just steal. I'm gonna rob my man, Sadhguru. That he always says, "Isn't it so?" The way he says it's so lovely, it's so gorgeous, and we know what we mean when we say these things. So if you got cancer, you know what that means. You couldn't have cancer unless you knew what the opposite of cancer. Synchronicity. It is so. It is, yes. So we know what cancer means, right? It means a lack of, well, for most people, it would mean a lack of health, even though that's not the truth. Cancer is not your enemy. It's not a lack of health. But most people would agree. But we know what it is, in a sense. Well, I mean, I know what it is, and some people know, but if they really knew what it was, they know how to fix it. But they leave it up there, kind of in the etheric realms, in the stratosphere, and just say, "Well, someone's got cancer. There's cancer." Really? What is that? No one dies from cancer. They die from the treatment of it because they're being poisoned to treat something that all they need to do is unravel the DNA, unravel the nodules, the cancerous nodes, nodes, nodes. You would just put enough uh, I don't know, distilled water or I'd call that knowledge into the system to release that. You loosen up, you get a massage, you relax yourself, and you release the things that you're holding tension to. Yeah, man, I hear you, Synchron. So as I delve deeper into these concepts, which there'll be a few people that listen to it, and I hope that helps them. Um, we find that wherever we live, there's a lot of cancers on here. This flat Earth community, there's people that are cancerous to it, while their entire life not may be very healthy to their friends and maybe to their family. They're cancerous in other ways. It's like there's a lot of people out here that they're on the flat Earth is flat because of flat Earth is flat because Jesus said so. It was written in the Bible. That's a big one that I just have to go. Man, don't you even know who produced these books for you Bible literates? That you just read, like, who wrote the people that the Christians hate the most are the ones that produce the books for them to read. Go ahead and rewind that and listen to that again. The people the Christians hate the most produce the books that they're reading and take as fact. So what what is the epicenter of cancer? What is cancer, and why are there 200 kinds of cancer plus some lower divinations? Is that right? No, that's not divinations. Isn't that right? Just they divide up what cancer could be, but it's only one thing. Everybody that knows anything about health and well-being will tell you that there's one cause of dis-ease, and there's especially in the human body, and it's either, for some people, it's acidity. They'll say acidity allows cancer to grow, and no, I don't agree with that fully. Others will say it's eating meat or a cooked, these things will cause it. There's a few ideas of what causes it, but when you get to ones that really know, there's going to be basically two main things. One's going to be acidic diet, and the other one's going to be the actual true one, which is clogging up of the portals, clogging up of the tubes, obstructed tubes is the problem. Synchronicity, I've answered that question many times, but I'll do it for you right here. Let me make this as simple as possible if I can for you. Because the cause of all cancer is coagulated DNA. Coagulated DNA is the same as having a blood clot. Blood clot, and it's having things in your veins that can't be processed. It means your tubes of your body are obstructed, so therefore you don't have vitality or movement. TOV, tubes, obstruction, and vitality. Oh, boomba clot ras, boy. Yeah, there you go. And the reason that, here's what they tell you, because they give you half the story, and it's not because they're. I don't think it's they're lying. I think they don't get why it works. I don't think they get why it's happening. But I'm going to give you this thing about acid. The reason that people that have cancer have acidic blood isn't because cancer thrives in acidity. It's because when you get cancer, the blood becomes more acidic to burn the cancer off. Pay very close attention to this idea. Acidic blood doesn't cause cancer. It's actually cancer's way of, well, the body's way of dealing with cancer. The body is smarter than you are. You don't get cancer because you have acidic blood. You get acidic blood because you have cancer. You have to just flip it around. Everything's backwards. So when everybody starts to eat all this alkaline everything, that alkaline thing, alkaline or acid is fine, but you can't. It's just going so far in one direction. So if you were to take some cancerous substance and put it in acid, that acid eats the cancer away. Uh, yes or no? You can do it right in front of you in a little petri dish. So people going slightly, they always want to find a balance or find something slightly alkalinic. That's not going to fix the cancer. That doesn't. You, you're actually causing the body more. I'm not going to say harm, but if somebody asked me earlier today when I was drinking some coffee, I was if I was going to put a certain substance in there to balance out the pH of the coffee. I don't want to balance out the pH of coffee because the coffee bean in and of itself is providing me with something that is either alkaline or acid. You can find every food item on the planet as either alkaline or acid. You don't just say, well, because it's acid, it's no good. The acid is doing something to the body in the same way that alkaline is. I'm not taking away from the excellence that can be provided to the body from having an alkaline rich diet, but that doesn't mean make your water alkaline. It doesn't mean to make your if rainwater and everything that was distilled water, everything that's given to you by nature is slightly acidic, well, there's probably a fucking reason for it. Oh, excuse me, let me remove the fucking from that. It's just I've had this conversation with so many people, and I'm not saying it to you, I'm just saying it in general, that it's so simple to see that if you if you go outside when it's hot outside, I'm going to give you this in the most basic way possible, and feel free to open your mind to this concept. If I have an atom in my body or a cell in my body, and I take that and I blow it up, so I got a billion cells in my body. But if I blow that up into the size of my body, then I'm a cell in a larger organism. If I take my body as now one cell or one organism or one atomic structure, and I put myself in a cold climate. Now, if we consider cold alkalinic and acid hot, which is pretty much how they do it, blue is alkalinic and red is acidic. If I take myself and put myself in a cold climate, what's my body going to do? My immune system and my dantian, my being, is going to heat my body up to balance it out. So if I were to take a bunch of alkalinic substances when I had cancer, that wouldn't be a good idea, would it? I mean, that would be the right way to go afterwards. You don't want to be balanced. You don't want to be uh 10 pH. You would get just as sick if you had alkaline pH. You know, cancer can exist in an alkaline body and it can't exist in an acid body either. That's the trick. So when you go outside, so why do you think it is that if you go to a very hot climate, they serve you hot tea? If you're in a hot climate, go back to nature, go back to your ancestors, go back to the animals. If you live in a hot climate, How do you think how do you think they cool down? Do they have a refrigerator with ice cubes? Those refrigerators and those ice cubes are akin in the same way to what an alkaline diet would be. They're not searching out those things because the body is going to find homeostasis. That's what the body does. So finding these ways to absorb, go get your, somebody emailed me the other day. Actually, they commented on one of my videos, and here, and they asked me if I knew anything. Oh, yeah, I watched this video, and I seen you were talking about this, and but did you know anything about hydrogenized water? And I was like, oh, I guess you're a Kangen rep, huh? And I didn't say anything rude. I was like, yeah, I know all about it. And the person asked me to do like, would I like to do a show with them? I said, sure. They never got back to me because, well, I'm not sure why, but I was like, because I named it. I was like, you mean negatively ionized hydrogen, or do you mean hydrogen? Do you mean hydrogen peroxide, or do you mean oxygen, or do you mean what are you looking for here? And it's just so funny that um, if you were to walk outside and find yourself a lemon or an orange, do you know how acidic that is? A lemon and orange is horribly acidic. But to the body, it's doing the same thing as causing the body great heat. Just like if you were to take, say, vitamins, well, I'm not going to say vitamin C, let's do it this way. If you were to go find a hot pepper, it causes the body to eliminate heat. People with cancer do have low oxygen. This is correct. They need more oxygen in their system to eliminate the cancer because the cancer is eating the oxygen because it's it breaking away. It's if you have big lumps of cancer all over your body or one big lump, you need to oxidize. So check it out. Here's the words oxidation to oxidize something is to take the iron rich blood or that cancer and burn it off. So people that have cancer are going to have low oxygen because it's being used to rid the body of the cancer and to use it as fuel. So if you wanted to, go fast, if you wanted to fast, so look here closer. If you continue to eat food all day, food doesn't have oxygen in it. Food is a dense material that's causing your body to go through a bunch of chemical reactions to get rid of something. But if you were to fast, you'd be taking more oxygen in, less times where you're taking food in your mouth, and you'd be breathing more. And that breathing would be oxidizing all the iron and all of the cancer out of your body. Does that make sense? But what people do instead is they go, no, we need antioxidants. No, if you antioxidize, it means not breathing. Oxygen is oxidizing. Oxidizing gets rid of things that are heavy metals. Oxidation, you need to increase the amount of magnesium and the amount of oxygen in your system to get yourself to a proper balance where you don't need anything else. But in the intermin, when you have all of these different elements and cancers and things in your body, you want to remove them through oxidation, through breathing, which is oxidation, which is spirit or breath. And then after you've removed these dense objects out of your body that were coagulated DNA, basically, a cancer, which means a can of sire. If you've been sir or you've been knighted, it's a bunch of energy. It's just a can, like a garbage can. Cancer is a garbage can. It's a garbage can the same way that Marty McFly had to get his car to 88 miles an hour, and you know what they did in the back of it to time travel? They threw garbage in it, banana peels and trash, because it took it all and broke it down to its most essence, like its most essential quality. So it burnt all, it was I'm not going to go too far into what it was doing, but the point is your body is no different. You're a machine that works the same way. So the alkalinity and the acidity is so silly because people are doing. If we already know this one thing, that everything they're telling us on the news and all of these things is backwards or false or wrong in some way, then certainly what's being popularized right now is alkaline diet and veganism. And even though veganism isn't a diet but a lifestyle, kind of like Buddhism, but if you take an alkaline, what they call an alkaline diet these days, you're eating a lot of plastic. Now here's the trick. If you're eating a lot of plastic, how are you going to oxidize plastic? How are you going to oxidize plastic? You can't. You see? So that's the next step. When you start eating all of the diet of veganisms, meaning the veganism, the vegan diet, it means you go to the store, you'll stop thinking about what you're buying, and it says vegan on the product, you'll buy it without looking at the 4,000 ingredients in there that are completely plasticized and bullshit that shouldn't be in the human body, but it hasn't hurt an animal, right? See, that's what we always got to go to. Now you got to consume that, and you can't even oxidize plastic. It takes a whole different way to get the plastic out of your body. And synchronicity, oh, the organic products is another thing altogether. Yeah, organics are way better, man. Just go get from your local farm, and in fact, get the conventional made shit. It's if it's living and there's carbon bond to it, good. If it was in a freezer for a year, probably not as good, but it's better than. You want things that have somewhat of an energy and life force to it. But as we continue this little concept into uh, um, plastic, oxidation, veganism, acidity, and alkalinity, there are different things in your body that need to be burnt off that you don't need. Then when you start with how would you clean anything? How do you clean, if you were an alchemist, how would you clean your glass jars? Let me ask everybody here. I think everybody here has a distiller. You have a distiller in your kitchen, and if you don't, go get one. It heats it up, and it leaves all of this lime and garbage in the steel reserve as it's giving you this clean water. How do you remove that? Acid. Cancer is the same thing that's inside of the uh, water distiller that's sitting there crusted on the sides as what you'd call lime buildup or all the other bullshit in there. I don't mean to just call it lime because that's not the right word, but it's all of that calcification. Let's use that calcification on the insides of that steel container. And to get rid of it, you need to throw a bunch of uh, very high pH. When I say high pH, I mean in the acid realm. You could probably use alkaline too in a very high alkalinic. I've never tried it, but the point is to get rid of it. You have to put a bunch of acid in there. You can put vitamin C in there or whatever the fuck I got under my sink. I could go look at it right now and tell you exactly what it is. So you think your body works any different? So if you have cancer, how would you get rid of it? Well, your body becomes acidic because your body is trying to get rid of the cancer that you caused by eating a bunch of dumb shit that became coagulated and calcified within your system. Is that making sense? So here you have all of the good things, Synchron and Wiz Laws. Vinegar, yes, lemon juice, there you go. Spirits, vinegar, and lemon juice. Beer, wine, vinegar, liquor, lemons, limes, all of these things are going to cause your body to go into, like, if you would go take a cold shower, your body would want to heat itself up and you'd burn things off. When you get sick, you have the flu. It means the same thing if you had a fireplace, you'd have a flue on it. It's burning things off. The reason people get the flu is because their body is so built up with the shit they've eaten throughout the year that as soon as it becomes cold, the body tries to burn it all off. You get a temperature, you get a very high temperature. That's basically acidic. A high body temperature is equivalent to acidic in every way. Like if you, like, that's what the body's doing. So you feel and look sick because the body's trying to flu or rid itself of all of the garbage in your system by heating it up to burn it off so you don't die during the winter because your blood starts to get coagulated in the winter because it's cold. So the body goes, well, I can't survive like this, heats itself up, and you get the flu. And vinegar and lemon juice are great things to fix that. Obviously, I speak highly of different kinds of spirits, for sure. Age urine can cure. I would never say cure anything. I don't like the word cure because cure has to do with salt. But I know age urine is super alkaline. Yes, and so that's so here's synchron. So what's up, Pete? So if you put a bunch of high alkaline, like I have Orin and it's like I don't know at this point I think it's 11 years old. I don't even fucking know. It's super alkalinic. Like if I put it on one of those little test strips, it's off the charts. So if I put a high degree of alkalinity in my body, it's going to immediately release acid into my system to burn things off. So it's causing the body to do the job it should. So that's why I say there's nothing wrong with the alkalinic diet, but don't just continually eat things that are like just slightly alkalinic because you're not doing anything really good for the body. You're just keeping it kind of close to homeostasis. Why don't you just eat everything that's 7-7, like right there, 7, right in the middle? Why? Because you won't have an experience and you won't burn anything off. You'll just stay the same. I mean, that's fine if that's what you want to be. But if you're healthy, then that's a good idea. But ain't nobody out here healthy, and ain't nobody out here without some sort of dis-ease that they want to get rid of. And to get rid of that, you either add a high degree of one of the two, acid or alkaline. But ain't nobody really playing with alkaline like that. They just want alkaline diet. But most of the shit they call an alkaline, I don't want to break down the whole scientific tongue of it, but there's a difference between alkalinity, alkaline, and there's it's like the tricks of saying what's organic versus inorganic. Like, do you want salt? Salt is what? Organic or inorganic? Well, you don't know because you don't know what organic means when it comes out of the mouth of um, a chemist. Organic means something different to somebody that's farming on a plot of land than it does to a chemist. So if I say inorganic versus organic, that's wildly different. So that's where the tongue goes all wrong and nobody knows what anyone's saying. The point of this all is very simple. Eat the fruits and vegetables that are local, drink the beer, drink the wine. If you don't like that, don't do that. Eat the soups, cook the food if you're in a cold temperature. This shit is real simple out here. But don't think that you can fix some sort of cancer through just being alkalinic because you know the people that have gotten rid of the most cancer, and when I say the people that have done this, I mean the people that have been putting the teaching out there. Your boy Dan McDonald, Dan the man, he put people on raw fruit diets, raw fruit, just fruit, to get rid of candida and to get rid of cancer, and it works for a lot of reasons. One, because it's acidic. Two, because it's living. Three, because there's energetic charge in it. And they're like, oh, candida feeds on sugar. Well, it's a different kind of sugar. See that? And then we get all confused. What do you mean by sugar? Which kind of sugar? But it's a living food and it has energy in it. So you gotta this. Why is it everybody says, oh, drink lemon or lime water in the morning? Well, that's got a very fucking high, I mean, a high pH in the sense of acidity. They go, well, it causes an alkaline ash. Well, yeah, that's the point. Anything with a very high pH or a low pH, pick one. It's going to go in the opposite direction because the body's going to do everything it can to find itself at a perfect balance of 7.1, whatever people think it is. So you don't just keep feeding the body well, let's just balance it out perfectly. That's no, your body's supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put it outside of your body to make sure it's already at a 7. You're supposed to eat it and it cleans out the body. And so the urine, yeah, aged urine, just put it on the skin, man. Put it on the skin, synchronicity. Yeah, alkaline water is only going to eat up the plastic bottle. So all you're going to be doing is getting more plastic in the body. So how do you get rid of that? How do you get rid of the plastic? See, that's the okie dokie, and that's the pharmaceutical thing, and that's the whole thing. It wouldn't be pushed so hard by Hollywood and everybody else if it wasn't going to poison you in the end. And I'm not saying there's an end, but I'm just saying if it was going to heal you and make you better, they wouldn't be pushing it so hard. But everything about veganism is plastic. You're going to tax you on it, and it's going to make your body very, very, very unhealthy and very sick. It's that really that simple. And so whenever I say that to people that are vegan, they go, "Oh, you mean go eat meat?" I'm like, "No, that's not what I'm saying by any means. I've never said that." But the point is, if there is a point to this wildly incoherent rambling that I always do, the vegan diet is going to cause your body to have so much plastic in it that plastic tends to have the derivatives of feminine hormones. So we get into all of the feminization of culture between the one of the living things it's doing it is the IPA beers, the India Pale Ales, which have too many hops in it, which are progenitors for estrogen, and then also the plastics, and all of these things are causing they're just as bad, if not worse, than all of the other shit that people eat to just uh, make them docile, calm, and feminine. Not that there's anything wrong with being there's a whole world of the goddess. There's a whole there's a whole half of you should be um, understanding and interacting with whatever that goddess energy is. But when you start to use plastic to do it through veganism, it's people are going to get really it's going to plasticize their brain. There's not a good way that we know of right now to get it out of you. We know how to get metals out of your skull. We know how to get metals out of the body because metals are inorganic. Plastic isn't organic or inorganic. I don't even know how to describe it, right? Does anybody? You can't, plastic's kind of sitting there like it's going to get leached off by some water and some acids, and okay, but can you like is it going to break it down like in the same way you can take iron and make it rust? No. It's going to get in the body, it's going to lodge in there, it's going to be something different. So that's what people that's the next state of awareness. People are going to have to, you know, all of these hospitals are going to have a billion new diseases, and they're all going to be Morgellon rich. When I say Morgellon, I don't even know if that shit even exists. I made a video on it one time, just giving my thoughts on it, but it's very similar. It's the plasticization of culture, which has been going on for a long time, and now people are just eating it. And when I say this to people that ain't paying attention, they think I mean something. I'm saying go eat fruits and vegetables and stop claiming fruits and vegetables is a vegan diet because it's not. Vegans don't have a diet. They just eat whatever's put in front of them. It says, well, it's okay. It says it's vegan right here. So let me jump back in here and see if anybody had anything to say. Um, Man, I got 40 minutes in here. That was fun. Let me see. Did I miss anything good here? Synchron. What's up, Dave? There you go. The body's starting to shiver to burn energy. Yeah, yes. Or to heat the body up. It's not to burn energy, to heat the body up. Yeah. Synchron, how am I not?
You know damn well why. I don't like this shit. Okay, Synchron, let me, if you're still here, man. The high blood pressure, it has to do with the raw food diet. Not raw, raw means sun diet. Your blood gets thicker or thinner based upon the heat outside, the moisture in the air, and what you're putting in your body. So high blood pressure tends to be more people taking in too much carbohydrates. And now I say that like in this sense that there's going to be things that will. I don't want to say carbohydrates and all this shit. What I want to say is, if you take dense materials in your body has to dispose of it somehow, and if that gets lodged up in your veins and things, then that's what's going to happen. That's going to start to cause your blood pressure to go up. If you want what lowers blood pressure? Wine, beer, these things. Now, those things also have to be balanced out as well with things to keep the veins supple and moist, like oils and things. But all in all, the high blood pressure or low blood pressure is is related fully to the kind of things that are clogging up your tubes and how big the tubes are. Like you ever hear about these people working out and they always want to be vascular, like really big veins and all that shit. Like, yeah, that's probably good, but like some people overdo it and they'll pop veins. Like you want somewhere in between. You want to find things to clean out what's inside of the arteries and the valves and then it, so clean it out first and then stabilize them through oils and things that will enrich how to put these in the right words. I like to use different words to give kind of fun ideas to people where you can look at it a different way. You know, when I say enrich the veins and things, I mean make them moist and supple. That's about as simple as I can make it. There's lots of ways to do it, and aged urine on the skin will help to do that. Where we at? Pete's over here. What's up, man? Tillin Gorsick, what's up? Ah, Synchron. So you got Tanya. Yeah, that's where you get the ringing in the ear. Yeah, that's also probably connected to the jaw and the what's the what's the name of the right there behind the jaw underneath your wisdom tooth. What's the name of that? What's the name of that one there? What's the name of you got your organs and your glands. What's the name of that gland? It's the anybody got me here? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. But that gland right there, you need to massage that. That's going to cause a lot of buildup and think about people that can talk a lot versus people that kind of shut their mouth or people that like they kind of grit their teeth and all that shit. I mean that's psychosomatic. That's like extra like psychology to it. But just from a physical standpoint, it's yeah, lymph nodes. The lymph nodes, yeah. Which exact ones are those underneath your jaw there? There's a specific one that's it's everybody gets. You either have a high or a low level in there. It's yeah, but those lymph nodes, yeah, you got lymph nodes all over your body, but those specific ones, um, um, yeah, pay those ones need to be massaged, and you need more liquid in there. Headstands and more obviously more distilled water. Cleaning out the system is going to get that working correctly. And and Pete or Pez, what do I think about dry fasting? I've answered this a buttload of times. Don't do it. If you have to, here's my very simple answer, and I'll give a longer answer right after this. If you have to ask, don't do it. There's too many people that try to like jump jump to the next level when they're not ready. Dry fasting should only be even considered by people that have already done. long water fasts that are already in a high degree of health. Because dry fasting is equivalent to almost breatharianism in that way. Ain't nobody really trying to be breatharian, so don't talk about dry fasting. Most people ain't even outside of eating. If you can't, it's like you need to be able to go a week without eating. If you go a week without eating, you're going to be drinking water. Now you need to go a month without eating and a couple days without water to do 10 hours without any water. Now you need to go 3 months without food and a month without water. You know what I'm saying? Like there's levelings to it. So no, I don't think anyone should try to dry fast. I think you're gonna hurt yourself. It's not a good idea. No, don't do it because you need to move the things throughout your body. You need to remove all of the shit from your body. Once you have the shit removed from your body, then you can consider it. But most people have no fucking clue. They're not even close. Does that make sense? Yeah. So find once you can get to the point of if you could liquid fast. Here, I'll say this. If you could liquid fast for 25 days out of a month, out of 30 days, then you might be capable of doing 2-day dry fast. Maybe. But if you're not doing that on a regular basis, no. No. No, not at all. It's not a bad it's a terribly bad idea. What's up, CDL Karchi? All right, guys. I'll give you guys 13 more minutes. That will give me right till 1 hour. And I will leave this last few moments here for any other questions you have, because I did my duty. I say duty. I did my duty uh, breaking that shit down for about 30 minutes. So if there's anything, we can go any direction here too, obviously. We can always flip it up and just talk about wild shit. We could talk about movies, we could talk about programming, we could talk about foods, we could talk about, you know, talk about the holidays. Hey, how are you guys doing? As you know what, I feel like I haven't asked people enough. How are you doing? But how was your experience going? I used to say that all the time. And I apologize for not having asked you all, how is your experience going? I hope it's going well, because that's the only thing that matters. No matter what I say, hopefully you guys are having a good time. Not just with me talking, but with your own experience. That's what it's about. It doesn't matter if you're gonna fast on water. It doesn't matter if you're gonna fast and piss. It doesn't matter if you're gonna eat a 50-pound bacon double cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. Are you enjoying yourself? That's what's most important. As long as you're not doing it to like harm others, and then be like, oh, then oh, you killed an animal, blah blah blah. And okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, who's left here? Who are you? Got City up in here and chilling. Hopefully I answered the questions properly for everyone. Synchron City. Hey Synchron, did you ever read or listen? Actually I did a video. I think I put it on Lock and Key though, because I read it and I didn't like the way I sounded reading my own words. But I have a WordPress from years and years ago called Zen Alchemist .wordpress. That was my WordPress. And the what you're looking for is our gold is not the common gold. And I wrote about what you're asking about here. You said gold is an orange. It's not like the solid gold as we think of gold.
Golden alchemy is metaphorical. People out here trying to make solid gold, but gold is not how they preach it. This is correct. So did you have you ever seen that Synchron? Yes, Dylan. So Synchron, if you haven't seen it, feel free to go check it out. It's a good. I felt like it was a good write up. Um, yeah, and have fun with that. That's from like 2011, 2012. Um, it's zenalchemist.wordpress.com and look up "Our Gold is Not the Common Gold." That was one of that was a really interesting one. I connected a bunch of weird things. And if you're really interested into the etymology and the like how I know the shit that I know about etymology, I there's so many writings in there trying to explain etymology to people. Not just from the standard um hey, let me see. Zen Alchemist one word dot wordpress dot I think it's .org or .com. I'm not sure. If you can open up another thing now, check it out right now. You should see. You'll know it's mine. Yeah, then it'll be a search button. I don't know I don't know the last time I've been to the page. I haven't written on it in a long time, but I once in a while I go to it just to see if anybody has commented. Um, yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things on my earlier, yeah, intro into etymology, and as I was saying, it's not standard etymology. I use a lot of different things. Oh, you got it, man. Cool. And if you like that Synchron, you go check out my dude, the Fetch, Dennis Fetcho, Illuminatus Observer, Illuminatus Observer with an OR, like instead of ER at the end of observer, OR. Yeah, man. Clear and clean. You have a good time, man. That's about all there is to it, huh? I mean, the only place that Tillin, the only place that kind of I get on that kind of middle ground with that is like I can't have fun, and um I can't have too much fun if my people are not having fun and suffering. It ain't no fun if my homies can't get none. You know what I mean? Like if people are out here starving in the streets and people are like getting hurt over people's bullshit when they're like they're watching the news media. I'm like, no, they're lying, yo. And when watching all crazy shit go on, like that kind of that's the only trouble that I have in my world. Pretty much, that's about the size of it. I go, oh man, I could go out tomorrow and have a good time. I get in an airplane and fly anywhere the fuck I want, do anything I want. And then I go, oh, but my motherfucking friends out here can't do it. Man. What's up, Fire Jake? Yeah. So I got a few more minutes here. Yeah, Dave, I hear you about that, man. But you know what? You can do as much as you can do. No can do. And if you're interested, this cat, his name is No Can Do, one of the greatest battle rappers ever. Nocando, No Can Do. Um, but the yeah, when you say people don't let you, yeah. Oh, how about this? I'll give you this. People around you won't let you do your thing. I'm gonna give you this. Are you ready? I'm gonna give you the Fountainhead. I'm gonna give you Ayn Rand. It's not about who's gonna let me. It's about who's gonna stop me. Yeah, pull that right. I pulled that right out the fucking. Pull that out of the book bag for you.
and ran. It's not about who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. Remember that one. All right, guys, I got like 5 more minutes here. And then I'm going to go take myself a nap because it is, that's what we're looking at, about 1 in the morning. So I have 5 more minutes to offer to you lovely people. It's good to see you, Tillin. It's good to see you, Dave. Fire Drake, as always. What's up, Travis Lewis? Travis Lewis and Dave, can you guys help me out here just a little bit? You know, seeing the letter T next to your name and seeing the letter D next to your name doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me that you guys actually exist. Can you just put a picture of something? It could be anything. You know, it doesn't matter. You can figure it out. That really helps me to like, you know, whenever I see somebody with like a letter next to the name, I just go, oh, are they full of shit? But I've known you guys long enough. You've been on here long enough. I think you can figure out how to put something besides a T next to your name and something besides a D. Come on, Tillin did it. Fire Drake did it. Synchronic got a picture next to him. City L got a picture next to him. Peter Preza, where'd you come from? Oh, God damn it, you ain't even got a letter next to your name. Fix that, Pete. What's up here? But you know what I'm saying. Oh, Fire Drake, man, thank you, man. I appreciate that, dude. I'm so very excited about it. Yeah, man. You know, time is all we got, huh? Thank you, man. Yeah, telling I hear you about that. Yeah, the clarity of things. That's very funny you said that. I was gonna make a video. I've always wanted to make the video on like moments of clarity that people have in their lives. Like, man, how many moments of clarity have people had? You know, I know I have them all the time. You know, whether I'm uh, as I harken back to one of my favorite videos that I think I put. I think I took it offline. It was called uh, "Sober, Lucid, Drunk, or High." And I just because it's all the same to me. Because if I'm in the dream world or I'm here or tomorrow, if I had to write down my day today, it'd be equivalent to trying to write down what happened in my dream last night. Like, yeah, I can like bits and pieces, but like all in all, like I don't know, like I have lots of lucid experiences with all sorts of people. But what you try to do is like, well, hey, can I improve this person's life? Because maybe they'll get something out of it. They'll have an aha moment when they meet you. Yeah, they'll find the aha moments and the clarity and all of that for themselves. Dave, no worries, man. Hey, City L, I got it from some crazy China shop. I don't know. It's just like some Chinese. Uh, yeah, like it was some, I don't know, Amazon. I think I got it on Amazon. Like I usually I'll see things on like Instagram and I'll go to Amazon. I'll look up the thing and I find like that's a hoodie, man. Yeah, I had to wait a little while for that. They had to throw it through customs and all that shit. The Chinatown, yes. I didn't go to Chinatown. I mean, there's no Chinatown down here. I'm not like in New York or Chicago or whatever. There's no Chinatown. There's not a full on Chinatown in New Orleans. No. It was like from China. It was like yeah, they sent it over here. Tillin, good to see you, man. Uh, hey, Oh, Synchron and Firestick. What you talking about? Cortese and mine are gonna do a podcast. me, me, me and Cortese and mine always be talking. We've done a couple fucking drunken casts together on here. I didn't know they were gonna do that. My engine always about ready to do something. I don't know. They know where I'm at. We know. I didn't realize. I didn't know they were about to do a whole rock. Yeah, I know Zencast. Yeah, yeah. The only thing that prevents me from doing anything more than I'm doing now is literally I'm doing this from an Android computer, which doesn't allow me to. I don't have a keyboard and like a whole interface. I don't have a green screen. I don't have all the extra way to tag shit. That's the only thing that stops me from doing this shit. And I'm not really that. It's just not that big a deal to me. And as I've told people this before, I'd rather have 5,000 people that pay attention to what I'm saying and are on board with this shit than I would have 50,000 people with, 100 people just going, "Oh, you're fucking retarded. You're full of shit." Blah blah. I don't. it's already hard enough dealing with the amount of emails and the amount of fucking extracurricular bullshit I get from people just talk. Like, I don't even get a lot, and that's the thing is like I feel very blessed to not deal with that kind of shit because I know people with channels that just catch it all day, but like even at that, man, like I'd rather have a bunch of people that are interested in what the fuck I'm saying than you know. I'm not giving out class credits here to nobody. What's up, Johnny? And Johnny, thank you again for the beverages that you put into my hands. Yeah, Johnny, you did me right the other day, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was you, right? That was you. I thought it was, but if you didn't, I'm not trying to talk you into it. But thank you if it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. you, see, you asked me. You asked me for my email, and I gave it to you, and then I had a gift in my box. So I thank you, man. And I'll be on here. I'll be on here for a few more minutes. How about this? Let me. Since we got a few new people on here right now, let me go. Let me go piss into something and grab myself a beverage. And oh yeah, Johnny, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, man, that served me and a bunch of other people very well. Whoever I walked by, if they needed a drink, I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it next time. I'm like, this is from Johnny. Johnny got you a drink. So speaking of drink, let me go grab a drink and piss somewhere, and I'll give you guys until the end of my next beverage. Sound good? Okay, good. I'll be back in 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
we back. Well, here we are again. Let's see what's happening here. Travis Lewis, are all of us Nola cats? I mean, I am. I don't know about everybody else here. I don't think anybody else is. I don't think anybody from I don't think anybody from New Orleans listens to me. I mean, I know a few people that that they know my channel. I got a few people that listen now and then, but I don't really put my shit out there like that. Like when I meet people, they're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, I kind of teach." Like, "Oh yeah," like yeah, that's what I do. I only give this to select people. There you go, Johnny, with the Wim Hof. Johnny, we were talking about this the other day. I'm gonna just jump off on that idea. If you take that Wim Hof method and um, you upgrade that with two things. One, breathing through the right channels. So his method is really simple. It means oxygenate the body, but there's ways of doing it specifically through either your mouth or your nose. And then also, if you want to take it to the next level, you would start doing mudras, like, touching your thumb to any one of your fingers, because your thumb, as far as I know, your thumb is neutral and your fingers are positive, negative, positive, negative. So you have your four fingers in each hand, which give you your eight positive and negatives, and your thumb, which is neutral. Although I've also seen where your thumb is, I think, positive. But nonetheless, you're going to do mudras that will link up with your breathing pattern. And if you do that while doing Wim Hof, man, oh man, have fun with that. So refer back to my earlier videos on how to breathe properly. Or if you can find any of, I'll put this dude out here. I don't know if you've ever seen it. And here, you guys, here's your meditation for the night. Go find yourself Core Love, Kore Love. Look up Core Love and Gamma breathing, and his gamma breathing, um, should put you out of your fucking mind. If you've never done it before, it should put you out of your mind in one go through. I have a link on my channel where I don't know if it's available to all you, maybe, hopefully. But it's basically, you can go ahead and do it yourself. Make a playlist. Take his video and then make it 7 or 8 or 10 or however the fuck many you need, and then you go through this breathing. And the only thing that sucks is the beginning. He kind of talks for like a minute, which you don't need every single time. But one time through, if you've never done it before, it should get you to a pretty good place. Now, if you interchange that, because that's the dude that knows about breathing patterns more than anybody. I took his classes a long time ago. Uh, yeah, Core Love is amazing. I don't know. I think he's down in where is he now? He's either in Hawaii or in Mexico right now. I know he was doing a lot of Spanish speaking things down in Mexico, teaching people about the breathing mechanics. But yeah, there you go. City, do I know what your avatar is? Do you mean on the side of the page over here? Because I can't see it, or do you mean like in real life? Are you asking me if I could divine who you are off of your name or your energy, or are you asking on the side of the page? Because I can't see it that well. Yeah, Synchron knows. Synchron, yeah. Okay, now I got you. Yeah, yeah. I seen some really cool sunglasses the other day. I want to put some people on too. Synchron, check out the sunglasses that Prince wore. You know, with a third eye on it. I thought those were so excellent. And so funny, was it you that brought up Mayan Jin and Court CZ earlier? I put Mayan Jin on these sunglasses, and I think they would look so good on him. I think that's his thing right there, because he's goofy as fuck, you know. So I think he needs a pair of those. So I'm gonna send him a pair of those Prince third eye sunglasses. Yeah, there it is. There it is. All right. Any pressing any pressing question? Not oppressing, but any pressing questions or oppressing questions too. Uh, Anything y'all got to say? Anything leftover residuals before you go to sleep, and any any help you need on meditation or breathing pattern or something to do to make your life more comfortable and relaxed and calm. And here we are, very calm today in a very you know who's really good at that? That people get all wrong is what's your boy's name who does the really good snake voice? Um, what's his name? He's that Indian guru, gray beard dude. He always wears a hat. Um, Help me out with his name. I don't know why I don't know. He's one of my favorites. He's written a few books, quite a few books, and he speaks in a very slow, very yeah. Um, well, I think consider you. A lot of people have told me that. I'm thinking about doing it. I did one ASMR kind of thing, but um, yeah, how to not be addicted to comfort? Well, just enjoy comfort. Don't throw addiction in there. Just enjoy it. A lot of people enjoy pain. A lot of people enjoy things that aren't suited for them. But the high comfort and joy and happiness is the greatest good. Anybody that thinks otherwise has got it all fucked up. So just maintain meditation in those happy places. And who I was looking for was Osho. There you go. Thank you. Nobody said it, but Osho. He does this. He when he talks in a lot of his videos and his later ones, at least, he's always giving this really simple, sexy, slimy, snaky way of. And some people are like, no, see, he's speaking through the snake serpent energy and all. Like, so the fuck what? Is he saying something that's good? No, I can't hear anything he's saying because he sounds like a snake. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, day birds flock together for sure, for sure. Yeah, you know, Fire Drag, I hear you on that. Snake language. Yeah, it's the snapes and the snakes and all of that.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's the same reason you can find people from different backgrounds that can speak with such a, uh, they can elucidate and speak with this way, this certain, there's a certain caliber and tone and texture to people's voices. They could do it for the right reason. They could do it for the wrong reason, and that's where you kind of, you hear too many people that have the gift of gab or the tongue of the saints, and then they use it for ill-gotten gains, to get things that they shouldn't have, and that turns people off. It's like that's like a used car salesman. It's sign language. Yeah, there it is. It is sign language. Language has always been in sign, huh? It's very funny. I used to go to play basketball at this college, um, and it was a university connected to another university that was the biggest technical institute in the country, the biggest deaf technical institute in the country. And so I'd go play basketball at the gym, and there'd be all these deaf kids playing, and it was so interesting playing with these deaf kids because like their awareness of playing basketball is completely different because they can't hear if you're like, hey, look, or there's this whole dialogue that you can't have with them because you can't be like, hey, here's what we're gonna do with the next play. Here's what we're gonna, not that people are fucking making up plays in the gym, but you know, there was just it was so interesting, and playing with these cats was fucking fun as fuck. You get to learn a lot when people are actually using sign language because they can't speak, they don't speak the same language. And actually, I grew up with one of my good friends. His parents, funny enough, both of his parents were deaf. It was very interesting. And I was like, "How come you didn't come out?" I was like, "How come you didn't come out deaf?" Okay, I'm kidding about that, but it was a joke. It was a slumbering, succulent spirit, so easy siphon, so easy to steal. Sign, sign, sign. Yeah, sign, sign, sin. Yes. And there's also City L. You're looking for Sight, Sight, and Sight. SightSite and CITE. It's the gift of remembrance. Or you could look at the what would be the here's another good three one. Here's three that you might like. Oh, I don't have the third one right in the top. Let me get to the third one. Let me see. You're looking for Gnosis, Praxis, Intelligus. There's the three infinities. You can have that. Gnosis, Praxis, Intelligus. Those are three infinities. Oh yeah, Synchron, man, enjoy that. There's a lot of really interesting, weird shit in there. Um, I mean, obviously, as I tell people, if you start from the beginning of it, you'll see a development of the way, like the way I speak now is closer to the way I used to type. But when I first started making videos, I didn't speak that way. So when I first started writing, is because I was really good at writing. But then when I started making my WordPress, I realized I didn't need to hit the question mark here and the period over here, and I wrote off of the way that I thought, and so I combined things that I knew with the way that I spoke with the way that I thought that I would speak, if that makes sense. And so it became just kind of like, well, I'm fucking writing. I don't care what. I don't have an editor here. Like this is the way I'm writing, and it was kind of a a thought game of how I understood different letters and language, and putting a lot of ideas that you'll find in most of my earliest work, which was written down in a more explicit way.
So if I were like, hey, I could do a 2 hour video, and some people aren't gonna understand what I'm saying, but I like just go look at this writing I did, um, 4 years ago, and it will explain it to you on the how the symbol for gold is connected to urine, which is connected to Orion's belt, which is connected to the stars, and like that's like I've told those stories, but it's easier. I think it's easier to just dip through some of my writings for that kind of shit. So yeah, man, hope you enjoy that, dude. Synchronicity, it's been an ongoing. It's interesting. When I first started speaking, it was with the intention. Let me show you this way. If I take a deep breath, what I can do is examine closely every single sound, every vowel, every tone that I make, to a degree that I never say I never say I never say like, I never say and. I leave those types of things out of the way that I speak. If I slow down and speak in a very direct pattern, and it's not a pattern, but I know what I'm doing with the way that I am vocalizing certain parts of my vocabulary. And so in the beginning, when I started making these, I found it very enticing to want to perfect every single syllable that I'd be saying, to the point where I was like, I need people to know that I'm not some fucking idiot just ranting and raving like a lunatic, stumbling over words, not knowing what I'm saying. And I thought that that was the way to do it. And then I developed, and then I let some of my personality into that maybe about a year and a half ago, which was because in the beginning it was just my voice and some chalkboard or whiteboard writing, and then I was like, okay, I'll put my face on camera, and even then I still made it not a habit, but something that I took as a high level of responsibility to make sure I was conveying a point, a certain type of idea to people, that I needed to sound like a teacher. I needed to sound like I knew something. I needed to sound like, and then the development to where I am now is like, this is just how I talk, and it's always been free flow and free art form and just the way that I speak. But I did find myself slowing down to the point where I was over analyzing every word and over considering, like, what kind of audience do I need here? Are they gonna like me? Do they want? Are they not gonna like me if I just trip on this one word and stumble at that? What if I say fuck? What if I say something really? What if I, me developing the way that I speak and allowing my personality is more recent, obviously. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Did I notice? Yeah, I mean, the only thing I improved on was I gave less of a shit about how I came off to people, and which is funny because I've always not cared how I come off to people in the public sector and how I speak to people, because I don't know if they're going to take me the right way or wrong way, or think it's humorous or rude, or think I'm lovely. I never know. I've been kind to people and lovely to people, and they thought I was being shitty, and I've been really shitty to people, and they thought I was lovely. So, my life always was like the way I'm speaking right now. But when I started making these videos, I really thought there was a way I need to speak. I need to be like this. I need to be, I need to be the hero and the champion of the people that I know y'all think like I do, but I just have a better way of speaking because I found myself in a hermetic
chamber of my own mind and writing and having time to speak and write and do all this shit that other people can't. So I need to express what everybody else needs to say in a very proficient way. And then I just said, fuck it. So hopefully that makes a little sense to you. Well, thank you, John. That's for sure. Yeah, you notice that synchron. Mm. It's funny because at the time it was like there was a specific thing that I wanted to say. Like I want to redo those videos the way I speak now because I think I could make them shorter, like more condensed. But I think I'd also have more times I was well, I don't know what it is like a that just like not really fucking caring if this sometimes it takes you longer to convey a point if you think you need to express it properly. Like Alan Watt says, what an artist does is no matter when they're done with the painting, you don't think you're really done with it. And I always feel that way and I'm speaking. I don't always feel that way, but that was kind of the thing. So I could take a 10-minute bit and turn it into an hour because I'm like, I want to make sure I speak to everyone. I want to make sure everybody understands what I'm saying. But yeah, Synchron, yeah, professional, so professional. Yes. Yeah, fire check. I hear you about the cleaning the vehicle, the clear of the message. Yeah, man. I don't know how many times I've been super clear and clean, and I have a lot of those really excellent videos where I sat underneath the oak tree. Well, I mean you could call it the Bodhi tree, but I sat underneath an oak tree, and I was on a day 7 of a urine fast or whatever, and but it became this giant philosophical discourse. It was a clean, good message for sure, but when you have a lot to say, it's not like I ever get writer's block. It's like I have so much that everything else gets in the way. Like, what exactly do I need to say right now to convey something to people? And Synchron, yeah, I didn't have to ask for it. Johnny, yeah, yeah, regretting the obscure, unimportant things. Yeah, I hear you, Johnny. Yeah, I mean, shit. You know how many times I just wake up in the morning, I'm like, well, I fucking said that wrong thing yesterday, didn't I? Yeah. But you know what? Every time, I think, Johnny, the best way to look at that is anytime you said something wrong, if you actually have the wherewithal and if you have that in your being to actually question whether or not you're being a good person, there's probably 10 other times you said something that was so important to people that it makes up for the one time you said something stupid. So you're sitting there, you're getting an A plus. You know what I mean? You getting a 90, and you only miss speaking once out of 10 times. You've improved someone's life. And if you don't want to believe it that way, then well, fuck it. Are you improving your own life? And so I think that's more important that people find themselves speaking in a way that they're comfortable with. Even those times, like man, how many times you get in those shower arguments? You're sitting there washing your hair, and all of a sudden you start having a conversation with somebody that ain't even there from like fucking 5 years ago. You're like, I should have said this. I did this wrong. Like that's life, man. Like fuck it. You know what? Maybe instead of having that, why don't revisit in your mind every time that you said something that impacted someone's life in a positive way. I don't do that because that's because I don't do the other thing. But if I ever find myself getting those conversations about did I do something wrong in taking a shower, going fuck, what did I say wrong? I'll immediately go, okay, let's balance this out. But I try to just get away from both of those things. But if you can for yourself, Whenever you're just like, fuck, did I say that wrong? Did I do that wrong? Nah, fuck it, man. If you have the capacity to question yourself about those things, you're already fucking 10 steps ahead of the game. There you go, Fire Jake. What the fuck does this shit even matter? City, you a painter? Are you a painter like not like paint houses, but they actually paint shit? Like you like paint. That's awesome, man. What's your what kind of shit do you paint? What do you do? Like is it like a hey City, would you take a picture of anything you've painted and send it to my email? You know my email, Theo Luminous. I would I would adore to see what you paint, man. Johnny, them shower arguments are the great, huh? Yeah, Fire Drake. There you go. You said this. I'm gonna rephrase this for everybody, and not even rephrase it, but just extend this idea. Outpouring of love, and sometimes that needs to take the form of tough love. Sometimes people can't connect and respond to genuine, honest love and truth, and need a good slap to wake them up. Yeah, I've interacted with that shit in every direction, meaning that some people I know everyone's been through this where you're just like, hey, I'd like to give this person a hug and be nice to them, but that person can't even accept it because they have so much um, early life trauma that you being kind to that person doesn't equate to them. They're gonna think you if they had somebody that was always acting kind to them and they're not capable of deciphering who actually is kind and who is a piece of shit, and they had somebody that like fucked them over when they were being kind. That's like that's full on PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. Like you got parents or friends or anybody that's like being kind and they fuck you over. Like that's what doesn't allow for whenever you see these people, you're like, oh fuck, I'd like to give them a hug, but you can't. Some people need to be, some people like to interact and on like, if you're from Jersey, if you're from Boston, if you're from Philadelphia, could you imagine trying to, if you're from New York City, could you imagine just trying to walk up to and give somebody love? You couldn't really. You can't. It's not the same thing. It wouldn't work because and that's a general rule because their life isn't predicated on those kind of ideas. So yeah, finding that kind of balance in between like either that like, well, this is not this, I can't help with this, or can I give a hug here, or can I just like, motherfucker, what? Like these all have their places. And a lot of people think that you got this too many people out here thinking everything's love and light and you talk to everybody this way. Like no, you don't. Like I don't know how many people that I've had to have this conversation with if they're all love and light. I'm like, yeah, okay, go to Detroit, go to the inner cities of Baltimore, go to New York City, go to Cincinnati, go to the Fifth Ward, go somewhere and see if you can you see if you can just walk down there and be like love and light. I'm sorry, that's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna get. It's not gonna provide them with all of the energy and love that they need because you thought the world was love and lights. Well, y'all, we'll see. Hopefully this thing didn't fuck off because I can't move my screen to see what y'all had to say. Um, this might be the end of the show because I can't see what y'all wrote after Fire Drake. Now that Fire Drake said City Your Art is lit, I want to see it. But let me see if I can fix this. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody type something else in here. Let me see if I can move this thing. I don't know why my shit's gonna fucking it's gonna wonky over here. Okay, I got you. Okay, Prince just okay. Yeah, okay, we back. Okay. Synchron, that's the correct email. But I'm still not capable of moving the screen like I normally could. I don't know what happened there. So apparently the shit's getting a little locked up on my left side here where I'm looking for what you guys are saying because I can't. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's working now. It's working now. Let me scroll back through here. So Fire Drake. Here we go. City Synchron. There's my email. Theo Loom. That's correct. Oh, and yeah, Fire Drake. The trauma people have is overwhelming, man. I want to do a whole show on that, but I don't want to just like I've done plenty of shows on that, and I've done a lot of writings on that on my WordPress. But I'd rather do that with people, because talking at people or about it for people, like it works. But like if you had like more than one person speaking about it, it would make more sense to an audience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's apparently this is winding down because it's still giving the same problem over here where I can't really look at your comments. It's just let me see a second. Let me see if I can get through your last few comments here, y'all, because it's not allowing me to push the buttons. So I'll say this: have a beautiful night and do weird things. And if it's daytime for you, definitely do weird things too. Um, Johnny, I got your lack of camaraderie, and I still can't. It just vanishes. What the fuck? All right, y'all. I'm just gonna finish up again. This shit is not allowing me to look at your comments anymore. It just pops up only when you guys type something. I don't know why this is doing this, but I'm gonna assume uh, the the controllers, the powers that be, the archons out there doing this, or maybe my higher self or your higher self. But nonetheless, have a beautiful night or a beautiful morning, or fucking enjoy your dream world. Go do some weird shit, and stay comfortable. Do that. Happiness and joy is the greatest good. Go find that. We'll talk soon, y'all. Big up yourselves, rude ones.